Get ready for summer in Paris. The 2024 Paris Olympics are almost here, and the excitement is building for the major sporting event of the summer. NBC is sending some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment to host broadcasts across the City of Light. Many are familiar, like Olympic broadcast veteran Mike Tirico. Others are a little more surprising, like Snoop Dogg and Peyton Manning. The Games start in the French capital on July 26th and run for 17 days before the last medals are placed around the necks of the world's greatest athletes. Before the Games arrive, here's a look at everyone NBC has hosting events throughout the 2024 Paris Olympics. Opening ceremony. Mike Tirico. Tirico, host of Sunday Night Football, will be at the helm of an Olympic opening ceremony for the fourth time in his career. The opening ceremony is going to be so different and unique, Tirico said during an appearance on The Tonight Show in March, describing how, for the first time ever, athletes won't enter a stadium for the opening ceremony but will instead float down the River Seine on boats. Tirico served as the primetime host for both the Beijing Olympics in 2022 and the Tokyo Olympics, which were technically the 2020 Games, but took place in 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Tirico also hosted the opening ceremony for the Pyeongchang Olympics in 2018. Peyton Manning. One of Tirico's co-hosts in Paris will be Hall of Fame NFL quarterback Peyton Manning, who is also a co-host of the Emmy-winning Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli, aka the Manning Cast. The former Super Bowl champion also recently co-hosts the Country Music Awards, so he's familiar with hosting duties. However, this will be his first time behind the microphone at the Olympics. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson, the Grammy-winning American Idol winner and host of The Kelly Clarkson Show, will also join the opening ceremony. It will be her first time hosting an Olympic broadcast. While other correspondents will be part of the festivities, Clarkson, Manning, and Tirico will share the main duties, positioned together at the Trocadero near the finish of the opening ceremony procession. Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb. Today hosts Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb will join the broadcast for the opening ceremony as well. The pair will be positioned on a bridge along the River Seine, offering commentary as the opening procession passes below. Though, unlike Manning and Clarkson, they're not rookies to Olympic coverage. Guthrie co-hosts NBC's opening ceremony at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 and the Beijing Olympics in 2020. Kotb co-hosts the opening ceremony in 2016 when the Games were held in Rio de Janeiro. When does the opening ceremony take place? The opening ceremony for the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics will take place on Friday, July 26th at noon Eastern Time. The event will air on NBC and stream on Peacock. A Spanish-language telecast will start at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Telemundo. Primetime coverage on NBC and Peacock will begin at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Where will the opening ceremony take place? Paris is bringing unique flair to the opening ceremony. Typically, athletes enter a stadium with their national teammates, carrying a flag and walking the perimeter of the playing surface. For the first time ever, the opening ceremony will not take place in a stadium but will be held in the streets of Paris. The procession will consist of a flotilla of more than 90 boats traveling 4 miles down the River Seine. Thousands of athletes will pass assembled crowds along the riverbank, with the parade ending at the Eiffel Tower. It's part of an effort in Paris to bring the city's iconic landmarks into the events. Beach volleyball games will be held under the Eiffel Tower. Equestrian events will have the Palace of Versailles as a backdrop. Fencing and taekwondo will be seen at the Grand Palais de Champs-Élysées, and urban sports will occur at Place de la Concorde, among other notable locations. Closing ceremony. Mike Tirico. Tirico will be present throughout the Summer Olympics, as he has been in years past for NBC. He'll not only host the opening ceremony and daily broadcasts, but he'll take the reins on the closing ceremony as well. Jimmy Fallon. When Tirico appeared on The Tonight Show to announce that Manning and Clarkson would join him at the opening ceremony, he also asked host Jimmy Fallon if he'd come to Paris for the closing ceremony. That wasn't just a stunt. Fallon will join Tirico as a co-host of the 2024 closing ceremony. Fallon announced his official inclusion on The Tonight Show the night after Tirico's appearance. "So, I finished this segment," Fallon said. "I go to commercial, I go in the hallway, and there's all the NBC families in the hallway. Molly Solomon, everybody from NBC Olympics, and they're all clapping. They're like, 'Do you want to do it?' It's real. It's happening. When does the closing ceremony take place? The closing ceremony happens just hours after the last Olympic events on August 11th with a start time of 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Where does the closing ceremony take place? While the opening ceremony is making Olympic history with its format, the closing ceremony will be more traditional. It will take place at Stade de France, the same location where rugby and track and field events will take place. Live event coverage. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg will provide regular reports from around Paris throughout NBC's primetime coverage. Shockingly, this isn't the first time Snoop has been part of an Olympics broadcast. He and Kevin Hart hosted a highlights show for NBC during the 2021 Games in Tokyo. While that show was hilarious, Snoop is expected to be a somewhat more traditional correspondent in Paris. Though, don't expect him to strike an exclusively serious posture for this. It's gonna be me in the field, at events, hosting, getting with the athletes, moving through the city, just doing the things Snoop Dogg does, he said in February at the Winter Television Critics Association press tour. We're planning on shaking it up and doing something different and just having fun, he said. It's the Olympics. We only get it once every 4 years, so we're going to make the most of it,